most of it's genetic too, you know, even to your digestive health and everything like that. There's also, we all have different, even though we're all human beings, we actually all have very different natural tendencies towards some things. Some body types have natural tendencies towards being sluggish and moving towards constipation. Other body types have more tendency towards being overly flighty and anxious and things, and have more like they're more likely to have loose bowels and things like that. We all have a tendency. And if we're not eating or living a lifestyle in tune or in line with our natural like strengths and weaknesses or tendencies, then we might find that we're not functioning very well at all. So there's a lot to be said about that. But the there's the gut health is a big thing, and that seems like a big thing for in your story. And there's two main causes for that. It's essentially, it's really only two. One is toxicity. This toxicity is too high, and two, you're deficient. You're deficient in vitamins, minerals, or enzymes, or bacteria, or all of them. So if those two factors are brought into balance, then you don't have the gut issues. But there is one other main component to that, and that's the mind. If the mind is running wayward, if it's overly active, if it's overly stressed, it's going to wreak havoc on the gut, and vice versa. And that's one of the other elements about biohackers. Some people they're so keen. They're like, whoa, I just ate lemons and I feel amazing. And their eyes are like this and that. And it's like, that's not going to happen in everybody that eats lemons. It's the fact that they're so excited about it because they're not chronically ill. What you generally want to do is find people who got chronically ill and manage to get themselves back over time, and then find out what they do. Because if there's nothing super wrong with you, let's say you're an athlete, maybe you're an accountant, or you just you're a mechanic, I don't know, but you generally, there's nothing really wrong with you. And then all of a sudden you just go, I don't want to work in that anymore. I'm going to be a biohacker. And you're just excited about everything. Everything is going to have an effect. It's like, oh, I just put plastic on my head. It's like, oh, hey, I feel amazing. Whoa. Okay, everybody, you got to do this. You got to put plastic on your head. Man, I just feel fantastic. But there's nothing wrong with them. And then the next week they're like, oh, no, I'm doing something else now. I'm eating cucumbers. Did you know that cucumbers are really high in cucumberism? And that's just making me feel amazing. And everybody listening is going, I want to feel amazing. I don't have any energy. I'm going to do this cucumber diet with a plastic thing on my head like this biohacker, because they never had anything wrong with them in the first place. They're just getting excited about every new thing. And anytime you're excited about something, you look vibrant because you're speaking quicker. Your eyes are bright. You're like, I'm excited about this. Do it for 20 years. You know, I always say somebody's going to talk about diet, eat that way for 20 years, don't change it, and then show me that you're still vibrant, healthy, you're still shitting properly, everything's working well. But don't tell me you've done something for 3 weeks and write a book about it, you know? It's or like do a podcast on it because you just took one course of probiotics, now everybody's got to do it. But that's not how it works. You've got to prove things over time through winters and summers and through flus and colds and everything else. Like do that, and then you'll find what really works and what really fixes the body, which in my experience is ameliorating toxicity, which in the gut plays havoc, and then also just making sure you've got the right balance of food. So when somebody's got gut issues, for example, taking foods such as, well, it's not a food, but technically it is bentonite clay. Something like a quarter teaspoon of bentonite clay before you start your day sort of thing, that at least goes and absorbs toxicity in the stomach, takes it out of the digestive tract. It also draws toxins out of the digestive tract as it moves through. And then making sure you've got high enzymes food in the diet, and then also foods that are high in bacteria like raw meats, raw dairy, culturing foods like in milk, making yogurts from that, culturing meat and making fermented high meat. Like that's super high in bacteria. There's just all of those things are going to help to rectify a gut over time. But can probiotics do it? Yeah, for sure. There's definitely good quality probiotics that can do that. But to me, when you take a part out of a whole and just go, this is the answer, it can never be the answer, because we are a whole thing. We interact with ourselves. We interact with our environment. We interact with our creator. You can't just pull out our heart and go, this is how a heart beats, because it only beats because of us and our thoughts and our emotions and who we are and everything else in our body. So you can't, to me, take a culture of probiotics and say, this is going to fix all of your gut issues, because it's not a whole thing. It's a part of a whole. It can help, but it's not the same as a cultured food, which has energetics from the environment embedded into it. It has memory in its cells. It has everything that a supplement can't have. It can't have that memory and that information, that genetic information about the environment. And that's why I favor things like cultured foods, because the food has that, as well as all these tiny little cofactors like other enzymes, micronutrients, macronutrients, microbiota. It's all in there to function as one whole thing that our body can recognize it has a genetic memory of, because it's part of nature. Whereas you just culture a probiotic and sell it in a capsule, it can help, like I say, especially if someone's got a wrecked gut. But will you ever reach the optimum level of health? I don't believe so with supplements and pharmaceuticals. I just don't believe that you can. I think you really need to be doing it the natural way for your body to recognize that and to function that way.